What's going on YouTube? My name is Simon Sniped and welcome to the channel. In today's Higan Eruthyll video, we're going to take a look at the most recent banner, Nuno. We're going to go through her skills and stats before I share my opinion on whether or not you should pull for her and of course why. Without further ado, let's get into it. Nuno is a 3-star animal Eruthyll, the support equivalent in other games that excels at region healing. Her overall defensive stats are very much in line with the other Eruthyll characters, where they're generally above assassins in terms of squishiness and the lowest among the AP type units. A vulnerable healer in the truest sense. Now, even though I may sound like I'm bashing the class, but in reality, your teams wouldn't be able to last very long to do any damage without the help of these healers, especially if you're in the midst of progression. Although she is nothing exceptionally impressive in terms of stats, she makes it all up with her skill kit. Beginning with her passive skill known as Graceful Moves, it allows her to enter the battle with 1 stack of Wind Breath and makes every 6 basic attack heal all allies amounting to more than 100% of her AP stat. Her default active skill, Sway Dance, is an AoE heal over time around the target and has an increased potency depending on the existing Wind Breath stacks on Nuno at the time of the cast. Once she ascends past level 30, you unlock her alternate active skill known as Tinkling Bell. She is now able to do a stronger single target heal over time effect and cast a shield on the target as well if there are at least 2 stacks of Wind Breath on her during the time of cast. The healing potency is slightly higher compared to Sway Dance as well. And finally, her ultimate skill is known as Yao Yao. With her at the center, she gives all allies within a large radius a heal over time effect, gaining and then consuming 2 stacks of Wind Breath, increasing the healing potency by a fair bit and reduces all cards on deck by 1 energy cost. So if you put her entire skill kit together and just look at it from the very top, you can already tell just how much healing she can do to the team, since most skills are AoE and heal over time effects. And now that we're very clear of what Nuno does, here are my opinions on whether or not you should pull for her and why. The very first thing you need to consider is actually your current team comp, because in the end of the day, Nuno is a healer which is meant to help keep things alive, and in most situations, that will be your frontline tank and maybe a melee DPS or 2. Although there are times where your team is taking party-wide damage, but that is not actually very common in itself. So the more common scenario that you'll probably see is that your frontline dies and everything else follows pretty quickly. So if you have another decent healer that is working well to keep your tank or your team in general alive, then as a free-to-play or small spender, you do not really need to go ham in order to get a copy of her. That being said, she is an absolute beast when paired with other Wind Breath generating animal units. Although a full animal team may be a bit lacking in the damage department, but their AoE potential is the highest compared to every other element at this point in the game. So here is my advice from a collector's perspective. She is not a limited unit, so if you don't have her yet, there is no reason to stress over it, because eventually you will get her in an off-banner pull, trust me. So it's a hard pass unless you're simping for her for collection purposes. As for free-to-play and small spenders, it really depends on how much resources you have right now and are you having trouble keeping your team alive. If you do not have quite a fair bit saved up, and if you have a 4-star Roko that is working for you, I would just skip. Now, if not, I would recommend pulling for 1 copy. I repeat, just 1 copy. You don't need to get duplicates and try to push her to higher phases or whatnot. Just keep 1. If you have the resources and is currently having trouble keeping your team alive, if let's say that's what you're experiencing, then by all means pull for 1 copy as well. Finally, for those who are able to spend a more considerable amount, definitely pull for Nuno, and if possible, get enough dupes to push her to phase 5. Now, the reason why I suggest you do that is because default 3rd phase to her 4th and 5th, it actually allows her to ramp up her healing and maintain the potency a little bit quicker than her default 3-star, because when you reach higher phases, it allows her to potentially keep the Wind Breath stacks on her. So if you're using Nuno in an animal team, your Wind Breath stacks isn't as difficult to stack and also to get it running. But if you're using Nuno like me in a team where she's the only animal character and she has to rely on herself to generate Wind Breath, chances are you don't really get to see many stacks, or you don't really have that much to spend. And that's it for this video. Once again, these are just my opinion on the banner. They are by no means the most correct thing you'll ever find on the internet. There are other content creators out there with their own opinion and they will tell you different things. So you can make your own decision. But if let's say you have any feedback or criticisms or tips and tricks or whatever about the banner, please do leave them in the comment section below. I would be very happy to see new stuff, or I would be very happy to see you just correct the mistakes I make. And until the next video, I will see you guys again soon. Bye.